Welcome back to the signing room, where today's board is stacked with heavyweight links and a couple of deals that look far more than just talk. We've got Granit Xhaka's Chelsea push, Yang Diomande choosing between Europe's biggest names, and Robert Lewandowski in the frame for Chicago Fire. There's also movement around Curtis Jones, Malo Gusto and Martins AKLIOUCHE, with several clubs circling the same names. Let's get into the full roundup. Let's start with the done deals. Malo Gusto is the most advanced story on the board because Foot Mercato say the Chelsea right-back has agreed to join Manchester City. The report also adds that the 23-year-old France international wants a reunion with former manager Enzo Maresca. There is no fee given, but when a deal is described as agreed, that usually moves it straight into the done category from a reporting perspective. Chelsea would be losing a player City are now said to have tied up. If this holds, it is effectively over the line. Robert Lewandowski is the biggest completed style story in today's batch, with The Athletic saying he has agreed a deal with Chicago Fire and will join them this summer. No other club is mentioned in the move, and there's no fee given, but the language is as strong as it gets in transfer reporting. Because this is framed as an agreement rather than just interest, it lands in the done category. For Chicago Fire, this looks like a major piece of business if the report is accurate. The wording leaves little room for doubt. Now, the hot rumours. Granit Xhaka is back in the transfer conversation, with Chelsea the club named in the latest reports and a figure of £8 million being mentioned. Fabrizio Romano, BBC Sport and The Guardian are all across it, but the big wrinkle is that Sunderland are said to have rejected that bid and insist he is not for sale. At the same time, the reports say his personal terms with Chelsea are guaranteed, so there is clearly some movement behind the scenes. The story is being framed as Xhaka driving the switch, with London and a reunion with Xabi Alonso both part of the appeal. For now, this feels active, but not done. Yang Diomande is another name attracting major attention, with Paris Saint-Germain, Liverpool and Real Madrid all credited with interest. The Athletic says the Ivory Coast winger has chosen PSG as his preferred destination if he leaves RB Leipzig this summer, while Sky Sports report that PSG are already in talks with Leipzig. That puts the French champions in front of two heavyweight rivals, even if Liverpool and Madrid are still very much in the frame. With no fee mentioned yet, the key detail is the direction of travel rather than the price. Right now, PSG look to have the inside track. Curtis Jones is being watched by Nottingham Forest, and TalkSport say Liverpool value the England midfielder at around £40 million. That is the only fee in the story, but it is enough to show Forest would need to go big if they want to land him. There is interest, but this is still at the target stage rather than anything close to completion. Liverpool's stance on the valuation also suggests they are in no rush to make this easy. For now, this one sits in the serious but not advanced bracket. Martins AKLIOUCHE has made his preference clear, with Team Talk saying the Monaco French midfielder has told Liverpool and Manchester United that Paris Saint-Germain is his priority this summer. That gives PSG the lead over two major Premier League challengers, even if Liverpool and United are still named in the story. Monaco are the selling club, and the key point is that the players' camp has already set out the preferred destination. There's no fee in the report, but the hierarchy of interest is pretty clear. PSG are front and centre here. And finally, the one still on the radar. Juventus have added Emiliano Martinez to their list of summer transfer targets, according to Tuttomercatab. The only club named beyond Aston Villa is Juventus, and at this stage it is clearly just a target list story rather than anything more developed. No bid, no talks and no fee have been reported here. It is the kind of link that gets attention because of the club involved, but the evidence is still early. For now, it is firmly one to watch rather than one to expect soon. Mason Mount has been offered to AC Milan, with Milan press saying the idea is a potential reunion with former United manager Ruben Amorim. But the report also makes clear there has been no contact between the clubs so far over any move. That leaves Manchester United and AC Milan as the two clubs in this one, but it is still at a very soft stage. An offer is one thing, actual negotiations are another, and they are not there yet. So this is definitely more whisper than wheel in motion. Bruno Guimaraes remains on Arsenal's radar, but the Chronicles say Newcastle are yet to receive an official approach or bid. That is an important distinction, because it means this is still all about reports linking him with the Premier League champions rather than any formal move. Newcastle and Arsenal are the two clubs in the story, and right now the Magpies are saying nothing concrete has arrived. Without a bid or contact, this is still early-stage transfer noise. At the moment, it belongs in the background rather than the front page. Zion Suzuki is being followed by both Leeds United and Aston Villa, with Calciomercato saying Villa are currently behind Leeds in the race. The report places Parma at the centre of it, but there is no fee and no suggestion of an imminent breakthrough. Leeds appear to be ahead, while Villa are still in pursuit, so both clubs are very much live in the conversation. That makes it a straightforward competition story rather than a deal in motion. For now, Leeds lead and Villa chase. Chelsea are considering Pep CHAVARRIA as a possible replacement option, according to Marca. The report names Rayo Vallecano as the club he could come from, and says Chelsea are looking at him because of the situation around Marc Cucurella. There is no bid, no talk of a fee and no indication this has moved beyond consideration. Chelsea are the only buying club mentioned, so this is a pretty clean but still early link. It's one to monitor, not one to bank on yet. Manchester United are still not giving up on Matheus Fernandes, with ESPN saying they haven't ruled out a move for the West Ham United midfielder. That's the whole shape of the story at this stage. United remain interested, but there is no sign of a concrete bid or formal talks. West Ham United and Manchester United are the clubs in play, and that keeps it in the speculative lane. The wording suggests persistence rather than progress. So this is alive, but far from advanced. If you want the daily transfer picture without the noise, hit subscribe and come back tomorrow for the next signing room update.